Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming to the press conference to announce what is quite definitely going to be one of the fights of the year. It's the first time that a big open-air show has been on here at Elland Road since 1992. Henry Warrington topped the bill on that occasion. The two lads have been calling this one out forever, and I'm sure a lot of you follow their exchanges on social media. It's been a spicy build-up, to say the least. Lee is an outstanding champion. He's been champion since 2015. This will be the 5th defence of the IBF crown.
Who's it for?
And as you know, Josh has been campaigning for this one. He wanted to be fighting here at Elland Road, and it is now happening. Please, can you just keep it down for the time being? Keep it down for the time being, and remember this is a press conference, so please let's keep the exchanges out there among the crowd, keep it decent, and give the guys a chance to say what they have to say. If they want to go at each other, that's fine, but we don't want you being involved, so please let's keep it that way. Anyway, the promoter of this terrific event, which I'm personally looking forward to immensely, it's going to be live on Box Nation and on BT Sport, and our promoter, of course, is Frank Warren.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us here at Elland Road, home of Leeds United. This, as John said, is a fight that we've been working very hard to put together. We finally have got it together. Got a fine champion in Lee Selby against Leeds' own Josh Warrington. You're allowed to cheer for Josh Warrington. He's you'll never guess what camp I'm in. But anyway, Josh for me signed with me a while ago, and you know, for me, he's one of the best guys I've worked with. He gets it, he understands it, and we work very hard to deliver for him his opportunity in his hometown, working with his dad Sean. So we're delighted about that. And as I said, we've got a great champion here in Lee Selby, who's shown that he's got the balls to come here and come into the other guy's backyard. He's with his manager down there, Chris Sanagar. So we've got the ingredients here for a fantastic fight on the 19th of May here. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think we're more importantly going to get a great fight. I know you're all going to get behind your man. I know that all the Leeds are going to turn out for Josh to come and get behind him and support him. And I know that Lee is bringing quite a contingent up from his own team.
He attacks it.
But he will be, I'm quite sure. But anyway, whatever happens, we know it's going to be a sellout. We know we're going to have a great event. We've got a great fight. And at the end of the day, no matter who the supporters are, once they're in that ring, they're on their own, and the best man's going to win on the night. And obviously, we're all looking forward. I'm looking forward to hoping it's going to be my man Josh.
Frank, you've promoted big fights for a long time now, including stadium fights, big occasions. This one's right up there, isn't it?
It is. I mean, you know, this is a fight that, in some ways, we forced this to happen. We've worked very hard to get it together. Josh had to go through an eliminator to get him into the #1 spot, which gave us the leverage to ensure that the fight happened. And eventually, Lee agreed to come here. So, you know, we've done everything we had to do to deliver it. But this is up there with competitive fights. It's a great division in the UK. You've got over in Belfast, you've got Cole over there, Cole Frampton, in a tough fight against Donaire in April. But he comes through that. You know, this is just great for British boxing and for British sport. So, you know, we're working hard, as I say, to make things happen. We've made this one happen. It is on. I'll thank everybody here, Mr. Odrani and Angus Kerman at Leeds for helping us to get it together, and obviously BT and Box Nation, and our sponsors 32 Red and Full Asylum and Raynham Steel. Without them, this wouldn't happen. More importantly, without you guys, it wouldn't happen, because you're the people who are going to come along, you're the people who are going to buy the tickets, you're the people who are going to watch it on TV, you're the people who make these events happen. It's important for us that, you know, we show you the respect you deserve in bringing these events into cities like Leeds and giving the fans what they want. The home support for their champion. You know, he's our champion to be, I hope. That's what we're all about, and that's what it's about with Josh. As I say, you could be a better guy than him, you could be a nicer guy than Lee. But I think our guy's a nicer guy, and I think our guy with the home support, prevail.
I was checking on Odds Checker to find out what price these two guys are with the bookmakers who rarely get it wrong, and you can still, if you shop around, you can still get 4-1 against Josh Warrington, which suggests that this guy is a pretty hot favourite, making his 5th defence. You've got a little bit of an idea of what the support's going to be like for Josh coming into the Lions' Den here at Elland Road. Does it faze you?
It won't faze me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. That's the plan, to try and unsettle people on the fight.
Let him answer his question.
Won't faze me at all. And if you're banking on like me falling apart before the first bell goes, I'll never think on it.
What are your thoughts about the fight?
I think it's a great fight. Josh Warrington's done everything asked of him. This time he actually gets a chance to win one of my titles rather than buy her off me, sorry. You know, when he was coming through, his previous promoter had to buy my titles off me. They paid me to give up the title so he could fight them, to build them up in front of all you lot. And then he wanted to put us in a big fight together. He kept calling me out time after all his fights. We agreed to fight. And before I've been told, he turned the fight down and then boxed on the same day against a different opponent.
You tweeted that you thought it was going to be an easy fight. Is your thoughts still along those lines?
It won't be easy. No fight's easy. You know, it'll be a tough fight, like all the rest of them. But I believe my class will show on that.
Let's hear from the man who I guess most of you have come to see here in Leeds.
Yeah, the Welsh Mayweather is in the house. Looking like a light heavyweight. Minus his caterpillar moustache. Listen, he's found a big razor.
The fight's already sold. Stop being a ticket seller. Trying to build the fight. It's already sold.
The ticket seller. Listen, destiny is taking its toll. You know, 2 years ago, you said that I'd never get me opportunity to fight for a world title. I'd missed, and that ship had sailed, and I wouldn't even win an eliminator. You said them words, but I'm here. I won my eliminator. It's here. For me, I should be jumping up and down on tables, but you can't mess with destiny. And I feel like I've already done this. I've seen this many times. I've seen the build-up, and I know what it's going to be. And this is just meant to be. On May 19th, I know a few things. There's going to be a royal wedding, there's going to be an FA Cup final, and Leeds is going to have its first world champion.
What about the fact, as I said to Lee at the beginning, that you know the bookies have got you as a real outsider? They're talking about 4-1. Are you telling your mates out here, get your money on?
Yeah, without doubt. Listen, you know, it's a chance for boys to make a few quid. I've been underdog before. It don't faze me one bit. You know, you say the bookies don't get it wrong, but they do many times, especially with boxing. And yeah, normally I'm odds-on favourite when it comes into fights, especially in Leeds Arena. But listen, Lee is not the be-all and end-all superstar that you know he thinks he is and everyone talks about. His last 4 fights with his defensive titles, every one of them's been shaky, and he ain't making that 5th defence.
Your dad, Sean, sitting alongside you, he's organising your training, your preparations for this as ever. Sean, tell us why you think Josh is going to win this. What are the weaknesses you see in this guy that maybe haven't been exploited so far?
I'm not going to sit here and give all my secrets away there, am I?
Give us a hint.
No, we've got his number. Listen, Lee's a very good fighter. I've never said any different. I don't play on Twitter. I don't play on Facebook. I don't go superimposing pictures on men in dresses and weddings and things, you know. I think if I were Lee, I'd be wanting to know what I'm getting for my money from these guys. Because I won't be paying people to play on there. I'd be giving on my business. And that's what we've done. You know, he's a good fighter. I've never said anything. I'm actually a fan of Lee Selby early days. But it's come along. Lee's a few years in front of us. We've come along behind him. It's not a case of buying titles. It's a case of he's moved on because he's a good fighter. And somebody else is going to come along and carry on where he left off.
They always say about boxing, don't they, that it's about timing, not only timing your punches, but timing to get the fights at the right moment.
Of course it is, yeah. I mean, all this business, he said, she said, turn it down. If we turned it down, why did we fight an eliminator to be sat here now? Don't make sense, does it?
Chris, what are your thoughts on this one as Leeds manager? Is he heading for his toughest night?
Well, let me firstly say that I think I'm more excited being here at Ellen Road than Lee is, you know, because I'm a great football fan, and when I was a boy, Leeds United were a big, big team. And let me say, you know, you had this great affiliation with Wales. You know, John Charles is the best player you've ever had. Gary Sprague played 500 times for you. The best goalkeeper you ever had. You had Terry Yorath. You've had Gary Speed. You had Brian Flynn, and he scored the winning goal against Manchester United, I think back in '81. You know, so, you know, that's the affiliation that you got from Wales, you know, and you treated those players with the highest respect. And I can assure you, on that Saturday night, after the fight, you'll treat Lee Selby from Wales with that respect, because you'll say, hey, that was some fighter. And no doubt, this will be the fight of the year. And as regards the fight, Josh Warrington is a good fighter. He's come up the hard way, you know, on the small hall shows it first, and, you know, he's progressed. And now we have a stadium fight. This is all we ever wanted for Lee Selby, and I'd like to thank Frank Warren and, you know, John and BT for actually, you know, putting this on, and everybody here at Ellen Road, Leeds United. You know, we're very, very pleased to be here. You know, I'm so excited about it. You know, like my pals, actually, they're all my age, 60. You know, and I'm going to be on there. I've been in Ellen Road. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, the respect that I've got for Leeds United. You know, I can name all your players. We had Terry Cooper down at Bristol Rovers. You know, playing. I mean, he played 56 times. He then became our manager. So, you know, there is this closeness, and when you've got a respect in sport, that's what I hope you'll show our man Lee Selby, because he is a great fighter.
Lee, when you get out into the ring on the night of 19th of May, and you hear that noise, I mean, there's going to be a massive crowd here at Ellen Road. How are you going to cope with that?
I'll cope fine. You know, I've been the away fighter many times before. I boxed on my first TV appearance was on one of Frank's shows when I was a big underdog, and I knocked out the hot favourite Stephen Smith. I went to Belfast with a hostile crowd, throwing things at me, swearing at me, booing me, cheering me. But they were boxing fans. I put on a great display of boxing, and they gave me a standing ovation on the way out.
And whatever people might say tongue-in-cheek, you will be bringing plenty of fans up from Wales, won't you?
No. I've always been closer to the road. Taxi. I will just say this, you know, in the early days, I respected you, Lee, as a champion. I respected your accomplishment, and you might have had a bit more respect off the fans, but you must have bipolar or something. You must forget what you say, because many times you've said in interviews and you've disrespected the Leeds fans. You know, you disrespected my fans, calling them.
I've never disrespected.
No, you are disrespecting. Just calling.
I told them about silence.
Calling brainless football fans. You know, listen. Call them what you want. They support their own. They turn out, and the supporters of Leeds, they come out and support me. They pay their own money and make sure they're home all the way. And the thing is, they're here to support me. They're giving you your biggest payday, and they're going to see me take that title. And
First
if
of all,
you would have shown a bit more respect to them, then they might have shown it a bit back. But like I say,
first of all, you're not giving me nothing. I'm the champion, and
listen, you wouldn't have gone anywhere else and got a payday like this.
Listen, I've been with Al Heyman the last few years.
Hey,
Everybody knows him boxing.
I don't even give a toss about it, to be honest.
He plays the biggest person. So if you think this person is like outstanding to me, it's not.
fair enough. But listen, I know what goes on behind the scenes, and you know this is one of the biggest paydays you've had, right? And I'm just a ticket seller, but you know, I will say, like, on behalf of the fans, you can't go around, you know, slaying them, just calling them football fans. I'd rather have these behind me than anyone else in the world, than any other city or
First of all, I didn't call them brainless football fans. I said you support. No, I said they're football fans. I didn't call them brainless. I called them football fans, and I said I'll educate them on another. I said I give an educated boxing lesson.
And like
and show them the difference between football and boxing.
You might have boxed in other places before, yeah. You might have gone to Belfast and boxed like Martin Lindsay. You might have gone over to Carlton to show. But this is different. You want experienced anything like this before. This is a different kind of.
If you're banking on
atmosphere. Listen, people in here, because of you slagging them off, they don't like you, and they're going to be hanging over the balcony. They're going to be hanging over the banisters.
Josh,
Chris, let me
just say this. You keep talking about all the supporters.
Let me just talk.
Those supporters hanging out, you are.
Yeah, they are.
One against one. All this about the supporters and about it's one against one. You know what it's like when you have to have a fight. It's one against one, and this is what it'll be. You won't be able to help him.
Listen, you won't be able to help him either. You're in with him. It's me and him, and I know that.
I don't need no help.
Josh, Chris says that they won't be able to help you. You tell us, Josh, what it's going to be like for you. I see what it's going to be like for Lee when he goes out and feels a pretty hostile crowd.
Listen,
when you get out and you know that they're on your side, how much will that lift you?
Listen, his team didn't want this press conference open to public. You know, that just goes to show something. You know, everything's going to be hostile, including, you know, the build-up, the weighing the open workouts, and the fight itself. So, what does that tell you? Not a confident fight. I'd happily go down to Cardiff and stand in front of all these fans. It's not a problem. The thing is, when he's walking out in the tunnel and everybody's leaning over, screaming and shouting, begging for blood, and when he gets in the ring, every time out on the punch and the crowd goes up, I don't know how he's going to react to that. He thinks he knows how he's going to go because he's done it many times before, but he's never stepped in foot in a place like this before. Leeds is different, and I've always said there's not a place and there's not a crowd like Leeds with a different breed.
Let me say, in all the fights that these Selby's had, is very, very few times he's ever got caught clean. You know, so it will be interesting to see when he gets caught.
Chris, flyweight, Fernando Montiel giving me one of his hardest nights. Eric Hunter had him on his backside. And that fella we boxed last time, that fucking Mexican taxi driver, he went after 7 rounds and he didn't throw a jab and he couldn't miss him. So what do you mean he can't get it? What fight are you watching these?
Good matchmaking.
Lee, you're the champion. You've had this will be your 5th defence,
yes.
And you've heard what Josh thinks about your weaker performances. What do you think was your best performance?
I've had a few good performances, but still the best is yet to come. There haven't been a night where I think I've performed to my best. You know, I have some days in the gym where I'm just like swearing I'm untouchable. If I can bring that to a fight night, May the 19th, it'll be a mismatch.
Does his fitness, does his engine, you know, the high work rate, which you know he's going to bring, does that worry you at all?
Not at all. We've seen me get pressured by many fighters. I've just outboxed him, outclassed him. If he comes steaming out with all his fans roaring behind him, he just wants my hands and I'll box his head up.
Because I mean, from my perspective, it seems, you know, sort of kind of vaguely neutral. That Josh's real chance is to make you insist on you having to fight 3 minutes of every round. He's not going to let you take any part of any rounds coasting.
The last time I can remember where I really had to dig in and have a fight was back in 2011 against Stephen Smith. That was the last time I really dug in, and that had a bit of a terror, and we know what the result was there.
Have you been in against anybody of this style? Anybody as awkward and unorthodox as Lee?
I've always come through with fights, whoever has been put in front of me, many times. And Lee has said himself that there were times when I probably wouldn't win the fights. I mean, you know, I've had 8-foot Japanese fellas, I've had angry little Spanish fellas in like Kiko Martinez. I've mixed in all these different styles. I've had awkwardness of Smee and Emily. And listen, on fight night, You know, we've been working on this for a while now. You know, he said for a while I'm obsessed with him. I have been obsessed with him. I'm obsessed with winning that belt. I've been obsessed because with anything, having a fight with him, because he said that I'd never get that chance, I'd never get that opportunity again. He used to tell me that it would knock me out. That's changed now. He's just going to box me head off. You know, over a week I seen someone on social media, if he were 11.5 stone and whatever he walks around it, he'd bang me out, but he can't bang at 9 stone. Well, we fight at 9 stone, don't we? So, you know, that's a lot of bollocks. And I will say one thing, it's a good job we don't fight like just after the weigh-in, because normally after the weigh-in it looks like an Ethiopian. So, you know, it's a good job that we don't fight straight after that. You know, he talks about being this big banger and this and that, but he went in the last fight, he went in the Mexican clean. And the Mexican just there and took it and kept him coming. So, you know, Lee's got his own idea about how the fight's going to play off, but like you said earlier, this is about timing. And since the first offer came about, the first fight, I've had 3 fights since then. I'm wiser, I've matured a little bit more, I'm getting stronger and fitter, and listen, it's going to be the best Josh Warrington you'll see on the night.
Lee, what does it mean to you over the last couple of years to have been able to walk around saying, yeah, I'm champion of the world?
It's an indescribable feeling. It's the best feeling in the world. You know, from a young age, like 8 years of age, I was in the boxing gym and I had that dream of becoming world champion. No one believed in me except for myself. Even like my father, a big boxing fan, he didn't think I would win the world title. But I just stuck at it, kept working and working, kept my focus on what I wanted to achieve. And with the hard work and dedication and the right team behind me, I'm here. And I'm hoping to reign for a long time.
Frank's talked about what might happen after this, and clearly Nonito Donaire or Carl Frampton in the summer is a very real possibility. Have you got any thoughts on that one?
I think it's a great fight. Nonito Donaire is a little bit past his best, but he's a puncher, and a puncher is always dangerous in a fight. And they say that's the last thing to go in a fight. So obviously the smart money will be on Carl Frampton, but anything can happen in boxing.
If you come through this, would you go to Belfast?
Of course, yeah. I've been there before. I've boxed on the same card as Frampton when he won the European title. And, you know, it was a bit of a hostile crowd, but I performed to my best. And I'd be happy to go back there.
And likewise you, Josh. First of all, just tell us what it would mean after all your years in boxing to finally hold that belt, to say, I'm a champion.
Well, like I said earlier, John, this is destiny, and I feel like I've been here before, so I'm just enjoying it. I'm taking it all in. You know, the city deserves it. My fans deserve it. You know, they've been supporting me for a long time, and they've been craving for a world title. So to lift that world title on the pitch, you know, the home of the mighty white gods, will be an amazing feeling. And it's just start the next chapter. You know, there's other big fights out there. And listen, obviously everyone wants to come and see me punch Lee in the face, but you know, it could have sold out with anybody. You know, it could have had Scott Quigg, could have had Carl Frampton here, and that is where I want to go after. In an ideal world, beat Lee. I don't mind going to Belfast, taking boys on the away day, and then we'll go smash it in Vegas and go to America. But listen, one fight at a time, and let's get that world title on May 19th.
Well, you'll have chances for head-to-head interviews, all the many television cameras here and all the reporters who've come up here today. Tickets, Frank, they're going to be available shortly, are they?
They are. They'll all be available from Leeds United box office, and they'll obviously put the details out on that, you know, when they can actually add fans, get them and so forth, and obviously from the usual people like Josh and so forth. So those details will be put out for in the next 24 hours.
I get the impression, talking to you, I mean, I've known you for many years now, Frank, you're genuinely excited about this, being a huge event.
I am, and I'm a big believer in home advantage. You know, you asked any, you know, as we're talking about football, you asked any club, do you want to play at home or do you want to play away? You want to play at home, you want to be in front of your own fans. And I think it's really important for any boxer when they're fighting in front of their own fans, it gets more out of them. As much they can be the greatest fighter in the world, but you're fighting in front of your fans, you do not want to let them down. It pulls a bit more out of you. And that's what's going to happen on the night. It's going to make, and I think it's going to make all the difference. You know, people are underestimating, bookmakers for sure are underestimating Josh, in my opinion. He's done everything that's been asked of him. He's He's not done it the easy way, he's done it the hard way, and he is where he is now. He'll be out there on the 19th of May, and I know 100% you're not going to get anybody more committed than him in bringing a belt home for his fans.
Right, well, we're going to be doing head-to-head in a moment, and also all the pictures, but before then, and let's try and keep this relatively sensible. Questions, please, from the floor. The guys are here. Shout out what you want to say. Go on, Nick.
The journalists.
Journalists, preferably.
Lee, you said you're going to do an educated boxing lesson. What does that involve?
It involves like a beautiful boxing display. Behind the jab, hit and miss.
Does that mean it goes the distance?
Same as his last fight.
I'll probably break him down round by round and then stop him later on. That's my prediction.
Same as his last fight.
So you're predicting a stoppage?
Yeah.
Sound confident there, pal. Sound confident there.
Any more? Shout them up, please. Go on, Nick.
Lee, regardless of all the hostility towards you, understand this. We 100% respect you and your abilities as a world champion. But understand this. The time is coming for you to hand the belt over to my man.
We'll have to wait and see. Tell him what's up. Tell him what's up. If for some reason I did lose, anything can happen in boxing. If I did lose, I'm gracious in victory. I'll be gracious in defeat.
Right then. Well, I'll tell you what it is. Get ready. Make sure that you've got your investments done. Make sure that you look after your money because we're coming hard.
We'll see. There won't be no we. Yeah, won't be no we. We're on his own.
All right.
Lee,
Yes.
you've got till May now, so do you think you'll be able to grow a proper moustache by then?
How can you talk with a face like that?
Game job.
He's got a fight.
Any more educated questions?
Well, let me tell you something. Jamie Spade was in this camp, sparring partner, actually boxed him.
Yeah.
Ask him what he thinks. He'd been in, I think he might have sparred a round or two with me. Ask him what he thinks about the fight.
Jamie's got an opinion on everybody, and I mean everybody.
Question here.
Let's just say that if it goes to draw, where's the next fight?
If it's a draw, we'll rematch and we'll have it here again.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds like September.
I would just say, thank you to Frank. When we signed with him, one thing I said that I want to happen is world title, and if you can, Ellen Road, he's delivered. I'd like to thank my dad and the rest of the team. They know who they are, who helped get this over the line, and Leeds United for getting behind one of their own and supporting us, helping us and make this dream. Listen, this is the one what we've been talking about for years. When I've been walking about streets of Leeds, and folk have been coming up and saying, let's get the big one at Ellen Road, and this is an event what's going to capture the whole city and Leeds fans all around the world. So tell your mates, tell everyone, let's make it hostile, let's make it something special. And so you turn around and you can say in years to come, I was there on May 19th when Leeds saw its first world champion, and let's fucking have it. Come on.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Yeah.
Just a quick comment from myself, as not only as press but as a fan of Leeds, fan of Josh. I'm not going to feel anything like what you're going to get on the May 19th. Passion, dedication, we're coming for you.
What was the question? Next.
Sorry, probably the way there, but are you ready for it?
So look, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't ready.
I'm just saying, you don't look ready. You look a little bit.
Let's not talk about looks, come on.
Anybody else?
Lee, can I just ask, in terms of preparation, are you going to do anything different for Josh Warrington?
No, I'm just going to treat it as every other fight, same as any other fight.
Does he bring anything that concerns you at all? In terms of your knowledge of world level and where you've been, does he bring anything at all that actually...
Well, I'm very experienced. I've had maybe 27 fights. Only 9 of them have been non-title fights. I'm making my 5th world title defense. This is my 6th world title fight. So I got a lot of experience. I've done it time and time again, so I know what to do. I know what to do in the training. I know what to expect from Josh Warrington.
Even before he became world champion, you know, we were going to the USA, he was going to Los Angeles, sparring in those Mexican gyms against all comers, you know, so we would treat this fight with the highest respect. We'll go over there and mentally and physically, Selby will be ready for Saturday night, May the 19th.
I think there's another question down here, yeah.
Josh, how do you make sure that you don't get overwhelmed by the occasion? Obviously, we talked about leaving, you know, hostile atmosphere. But
Questions, how do you make sure, Josh, that you don't get overwhelmed by the occasion?
Listen, I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but I feel like I've been in this moment. I've pictured myself, anytime I've been on pitch, anytime I've gone down to watch Leeds, I've always pictured myself being there, so I feel like I've lived it already. It's not going to be no new to me. I walk out in front of thousands at the arena, and I have learned from that. Like one of the last times Lee were down there, he were ringside, and I had a bit of a bad night off this because I did get carried away a few years ago, but I've learned from that, and I've learned from you know, dealing with the pressure, dealing with the fans, dealing with hostility, and you know, experience is the best teacher. So I'm going to enjoy the occasion. I'm going to enjoy walking down that tunnel and walking onto the pitch and getting in the ring. But as soon as that first bell goes, I'm going to be switched on. And 36 minutes to win that world title.
Anybody else? Yes, at the back.
Leeds v Cardiff this Saturday, Elland Road. We're going to see you on the pitch.
Most likely, yes.
Good luck, son.
Thank you.
In boxing, there's always got to be a good guy and a bad guy. Alright? So Lee Selby, if you want, we'll play the bad guy, and Lee Selby will promote this fight as much as we can. So you've got as many Leeds supporters as you can get. The Soul Crew will be coming.
That's Soul Crew. Any more? Okay, well that's about it then. Head to head.